Hello and welcome to one of the best games ever made, No Man's Sky. After 200 hours of gameplay and lots of amazing memories, I have formulated a list of 16 things I wish I did when I started playing No Man's Sky. Yes, 16. This game has received so many updates over the years, and it is jam-packed full of content, which is not always evident when you start playing. So keep searching. There's more than meets the eye. Scan everything. When scanning an unknown resource, it can sometimes give you more than one resource after scanning. And if you eventually upgrade your scanner, it can be a great way to make units, as after the upgrade, you can yield hundreds of thousands of units on a single scan. Visit as many buildings as you possibly can. Some buildings and landmarks will have navigation data that you can then use to purchase maps from the cartographer on a space station. Prioritize getting the exosuit upgrade maps, as this will allow you to have more inventory space, which is a game changer in early game. You can also purchase 2 inventory slots per system, one in the space station and one in the anomaly, so definitely take advantage of that. Don't neglect the main story. It will yield you amazing blueprints on your travels, but be warned, the story is quite addicting at times, and I just find myself getting lost. There's also a lot of things that open up after the story is completed. Have fun with it. The Paradise planet may not always be the best world for your base. Eventually, you'll be able to harness the power of storms for power, so do not neglect the planets you may have previously seen that may have not been suitable for life. Make sure to upload your discoveries in the discovery menu, as this will yield you a generous amount of nanites, and they become very important in purchasing upgrades, among other things. Need extra technology slots in your exosuit? When you go to a space station to upgrade your inventory, you can click on your technology slide to install it there instead. Embarrassing, but this took me 150 hours to realize this. When building a base, make sure to plop a save beacon down near you and save consistently. There's nothing worse than you making some epic changes to your base, and then the game decides to quit and you lose it. Ignore Sentinels in the beginning. They can be really annoying to deal with when all you have is lower tier weapons. And you want to make sure that you can mine valuables without them babysitting you. So try to find a planet without Sentinels and gather resources there instead. Turn PvP off in the settings. It may be on by default, and the last thing you want to do is lose all your valuables to a griefer that just wants to ruin your day. Your first freighter encounter will be free to you. So if you have jumped at least 4 times, make sure to make a restore point by getting in and out of your ship before warping there. We'll make it easy to go back if you don't like the look or the class of the ship offered. Just reload. Craft or buy a ton of launch fuel. I found myself getting extremely frustrated with having to constantly refuel, so make sure if it's offered at space stations to buy a ton of it. Prioritize upgrading your hyperdrive. There are 3 main upgrades to the hyperdrive: cadmium, indium, and emerald. Make sure to get this done as soon as possible to be able to reach any star system you may want to explore. An easy money-making trick is to buy the distress signal maps at the cartographer to find crashed ships. Activate the map in the inventory and find the ship, fix the launch thrusters and pulse engine, go to a space station and scrap it for good early game units. Check every space station for S-class upgrades for your exosuit, starship, and multi-tool at the appropriate vendors. You may be surprised that they sometimes have these available for nanites. Get familiar with the menus the game has to offer. A lot is done there, and it makes it easier if you study how these menus work, so that you can be a pro in no time. It takes a bit to learn, but it is rewarding. Don't get too caught up in "I have to do this now" mentality. No Man's Sky is what you make it, and if you spend the time exploring, base building, and discovering, you will have a better time than if all you're doing is missions. I'm over 200 hours in now, and I still find stuff I have never seen. Have fun and enjoy the journey to the center, travelers.